Direct News TV. June 7, 2023. U.S. to send cluster bombs to Ukraine despite humanitarian concerns. The United States has decided to send cluster munitions to Ukraine, multiple news outlets have reported, despite concerns about the deployment of weapons banned by more than 100 countries. A weapons package including cluster munitions fired from a 155mm howitzer cannon is expected to be announced as soon as Friday, 3 U.S. officials told the Reuters news agency on condition of anonymity. The New York Times, citing people familiar with the discussions who requested anonymity, reported that several of U.S. President Joe Biden's key aides, including Secretary of State Antony Blinken, had recommended the U.S. send the weapons at a meeting of top national security officials last week, despite what they described as their own deep reservations. Cluster bombs release large numbers of smaller bomblets across a wide area, posing a major threat to civilians both during the war and long afterwards because some of the bomblets will fail to explode. More than 120 countries have signed the 2008 United Nations Convention on Cluster Munitions to ban their use, including some of Ukraine and the US's key allies such as France and the United Kingdom. Ukraine, Russia, and the US have not signed that treaty, although a 2009 law bans the US from exporting cluster munitions with bomblet failure rates above 1%, which covers virtually the entire US military stockpile. Biden, however, can override such prohibitions in cases deemed in the interests of US national security. Earlier, Human Rights Watch, HRW, criticized Ukraine and Russia for their use of cluster weapons in the conflict. The rights group said Russia had extensively used cluster munitions, causing many civilian deaths and serious injuries, while Ukrainian cluster munition rocket attacks on the then Russian-occupied city of Izium in 2022 had killed at least 8 civilians and wounded 15 more. Ukraine told HRW it had not used cluster munitions in or around the city at the time. Cluster munitions used by Russia and Ukraine are killing civilians now and will continue to do so for many years, Mary Wareham, the group's acting arms director, said in a statement. Both sides should immediately stop using them and not try to get more of these indiscriminate weapons. Despite the humanitarian concerns, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and other senior Ukrainian officials have been calling for new stocks of cluster weapons, saying they are the best way to break through the Russian trenches that are slowing Kiev's counteroffensive. Ukraine is also running low on conventional artillery shells. One U.S. official told the Times it had become clear that the current battlefield situation had made cluster weapons 100% necessary. A Pentagon official said last month that the U.S. military believed cluster munitions would be useful for Ukraine, but they had not been approved for Kiev because of congressional restrictions and concerns among allies. The total aid package is expected to be worth as much as $800 million and includes munitions for high-mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, and ground vehicles such as Bradley fighting vehicles and Stryker armored personnel carriers, officials said. It will be the 42nd aid package since Russia began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. My name is Kingsley. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to be notified whenever we post. You won't regret it.